Today, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 13th episode of the 6th season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode is kind of interesting. It's kind of controversial, you know. Recently, it's come to obviously everybody's knowledge that Sheldon's assistant has got a little bit of a crush on Leonard. Now, Leonard, he didn't really know that, did he? And obviously, he started to get a little bit, you know, giddy, a little bit happy. It's the first time he's ever had two people show him affections, and obviously we've seen that in a couple of episodes back where Penny was obviously moaning about him as well, not actually stepping in and saying something. Well, somebody who said something last episode was Sheldon, and we know the way he is, the way he talks. He's not the best in social engagements, and you know, he had a conversation with his assistant and basically said that, you know, if she ever has some sexual needs, then don't put it onto Leonard. Look in this book, do this, do that. And obviously she felt that he overstepped his mark. She's gone to HR. Sheldon's been called in. Sheldon again, not really reading the room and understanding what he's saying, digging himself a bigger and bigger hole. He ended up name dropping Raj, obviously Howard and Leonard, for previous things that they've said and done in the past as well, which brought them all back into the HR office, and it just wasn't a good episode for them, was it? They was all getting into trouble, but hopefully today's, obviously it's been sorted. You know, Sheldon had to take a sexual harassment course at the end of the episode, which he didn't actually do himself. He delegated that to his assistant, who was the one who actually, you know, put in the word for him to actually go in and actually take it. So, you know, he didn't really learn the error of his ways, but maybe in today's episode we're on the positive straight and narrow. Who knows? But that is today's intro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you do, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into the 13th episode of the 6th season of The Big Bang Theory.
Hey, will you see my uniform next?
Yeah, well, interesting. Do you recall this conversation? Leonard, want to go halvesies on a steamer? Yeah, no, Sheldon, we don't need a steamer.
Hi, here are the makeup sponges you asked for.
Oh, thanks. I thought I had more.
Damn, you've got more makeup than I do.
I once borrowed my sister's makeup for a costume contest, got a terrible case of pink eye.
I feel like you guys just went to ComicCon.
That was San Diego Comic-Con. This is Bakersfield Comic-Con.
All right, well, you guys have fun. I guess I'll see you Sunday night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, hang on a second. Hold this
What was that for?
to show people when they don't believe me.
Oh, this is the best. You have booze with breakfast on a Tuesday, you got a problem. You do it on the weekend, you got brunch.
Sheldon doesn't believe in brunch. He can't stand being at a table where one person's having an omelet and another person's having a sandwich.
How excited they are. You should have seen Howard sewing his costume all week for the convention.
When did Howard learn to sew?
When he was a little boy, every couple months he would have to let his mom's pants out.
For them work at a major university, they're all super smart. How can they still be into something made for 12-year-olds?
Probably because they were bullied growing up. In a world where you can't fight back, superheroes provide meaningful wish fulfillment.
Now I feel bad for picking on all those kids. Although, in my defense, if Danny Biffle didn't want to eat a mouthful of dirt, he shouldn't have shown up to school wearing a bow tie.
I mean, it's such an important part of their lives. Maybe we should try reading some. The comic book store isn't far from here.
That is an amazing idea. Okay, how many of these have I had?
Imagine three women walking into the comic book store. All the guys are just going to be staring there like Captain Sweatpants, in it. They're all going to be baffled because they're walking in their own, you know what I mean? Not with anybody. It's just out their own free will, just going in and having a look and talking to Stu. Now, personally, I've never really been into comics. I don't really get the big deal out of it in terms of, like, you know, he walks in, kapow, bang, woohoo. It's like, you know, I mean, books, for example, Harry Potter book, Ready Player One, The Martian, you know, like, they're books that have been turned into films. That's why I know them, but I've obviously read them, and, like, I get it. They're storytelling. Now, comic books do tell stories as well, but they do it in, like, one-liners and stuff like that, and I've never really grasped the amazingness of it. But the fact that, you know, it doesn't matter. It's like when people say, oh, he's 40, he's 50, and he still likes comics. Who cares? You know, it's a hobby that they're into. You know, you've got your hobby. It might be gardening. Do you know what I mean? It might be cycling. That's something that interests your mind. Let this interest theirs. There's no age and fun and what entertains you. So I never have a problem with any age and wanting to do anything.
I think you should turn on the GPS.
It is on.
Yeah, but the turn-by-turn voice option isn't on.
Turning it on, but just to shut you up.
Bear left and continue on Interstate 210.
Ooh, sounds like that fella knows what he's talking about. I'll put on my listening ears if I were you.
Here's an interesting fact about interstates.
Really?
He That's interesting.
Interstates are numbered as follows. Even numbered routes run east and west. Odd numbered routes run north and south.
Not that far from Vasquez Rocks.
Oh, they shot a lot of Star Trek episodes out there.
We got our costumes in the trunk. We could go there and have a little photo shoot.
While we're waiting, do you know which president signed the Interstate Highway System Act into law? The answer coming up in 14 miles.
You know what, right? That is actually a pretty good concept of, like, it's basically like an audiobook. Obviously, it's like sat-nav. I drive with the sat-nav voice activation turned off because I can just look and see the maps. I don't need it to say turn here, turn there. I know people do. But I actually think that's quite good, you know. It's like knowledge while driving, getting interesting facts along the way, getting the journey to pass more quickly without being obviously silent and boring. I actually think that's a quite clever idea. But also, I did it literally hundreds of times, but the facial expressions that Sheldon does, I don't think anybody could pull it off. Like, he's so good at his characters. Like, I know it sounds daft, like somebody's so good at playing his character, but like, could you imagine somebody else playing Sheldon and the mannerisms and the way that he does his facial expressions? Because I think it's just perfect to me. Told you, Captain Sweatpants.
Can you please stop staring? They're just girls. It's nothing you haven't seen in movies or in drawings.
We were looking for a recommendation about comic books.
Oh, well, I recommend you don't open a store and sell them.
What kind of comics do the guys like?
A little bit of everything. Mostly superhero stuff.
All right, well, who's the best superhero?
I can't ask a question like that in here. You're trying to start a rumble? You've got your basic clean-cut good guys, Superman, Spider-Man, Captain America. Then you have your darker anti-heroes, your Batman, your Wolverine, Punisher.
Ooh, I do love a bad boy.
If I were you, I'd go for Fables #1. The artwork is sophisticated, it's intelligently written, and it doesn't objectify or stereotype women.
And we're blending, and we're blending.
Come on, guys, let's do this.
Sheldon, how is that a fight pose?
Mr. Data's weapon is his mind.
Faces on the bog. Charlie's Angels.
Oh my God, Leonard, someone's stealing your car.
What? Hey! Hey! Come back here!
Stealing is against the law! The only thing left to do now is assign blame. Nice going.
What's wrong with people? Why don't they stop?
Maybe we're better off. You know, what if we were to get in a car with a crazy person?
Come on, let's just start walking. There's got to be a gas station or something nearby.
Okay, I'm done. How'd you guys finish so fast?
I don't know, there were a lot of pictures. What'd you guys think?
Well, there was a lot of action, and the story moved along at a brisk pace. It was overall, what's the word I'm looking for?
Stupid?
So stupid. What a waste of time.
I know, a hammer's so heavy that no one else can pick it up.
I don't think it's heavy. I think it's some sort of magic so only Thor can lift it.
Thor is a god. The hammer is his, only he can use it.
Hang on, what if Thor's hand is on the hammer? I mean, if he's touching it with his god magic, does that mean I could lift it?
No.
Yes.
Well, which is it?
Maybe we missed something.
Let's read it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we were reading.
We are. We're just, giving you a head start.
You know what, right? I've only ever been in the cinemas 2 times when something's have happened and, like, the audience have all kind of made a noise, if that makes sense. So, like, obviously I've been in what's like horror films or scary films where some people get jump scared and, like, obviously they scream or make some noise, but, like, a collective thing. And obviously one was in the Avengers, around the hammer, like, you know, around the hammer. Not going to say exactly what happened because, spoiler, people moan about it. But obviously, if you've seen the Avengers, you know, picks up the hammer, you know, everybody was like, whoa, pretty much collectively at the same time in the IMAX. And then the other time was actually I think it's the latest Spider-Man when they open the rings and everybody comes jumping through it. And that was more of a cheer. Everybody was like well excited to see them come and return back. So I don't know, like, that's the 2 times that I've been actually in a cinema that's kind of full, and then people have made a reaction, you know what I mean? collectively, it was like everybody in sync to something that happened on the screen. My mum told me that when she was younger, she went and watched Rocky, and when he won, like everyone was jumping up and clapping. I mean, if that happened now, everybody would literally, I'd literally die in my seat if everyone stood up clapping in the cinema. But you know what I mean? I'd be interested to see if you've watched any films like in public or in the cinema, or like hundreds of people, and like everybody's had the same reaction to something.
Wish my mom was here. Could all hang out in her shadow.
Poor thing, you're sweating. That's so much worse than having your car stolen.
Insurance is gonna buy you a new car. It's not gonna defunk my junk.
All our lives, we have dreamed of finding ourselves inside one of the fantasy worlds we love. At this moment, we are, in fact, a Star Trek landing party. You know, stranded in an alien and unforgiving environment, relying only on our wits. As long as we have those things, nothing can stop us. I hate this planet.
It says right here on the hammer, whoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Hold on, who decides who's worthy? Does the hammer decide?
Yes.
Can't decide, it's a hammer.
You said it's a magic hammer.
Yeah, but it can't make decisions.
If Harry Potter's wand can make decisions, why can't Thor's hammer?
Hello. 4 glasses of water, please.
You can't pick something up in outer space. In space, there is no up.
Leonard and Sheldon have boxes of comics across the hall. Why don't we go look at those?
Is there anything valuable in the car?
Our clothes, our wallets, phones.
And about $300 worth of makeup, so this thief could look like anyone right now.
We're going to the ComicCon in Bakersfield. They have a big costume contest.
I don't know, sounds pretty cool. It is. It's not just comic books. They've got action figures, toys, a Tron-themed dance party.
Okay, he gets how cool it is.
You guys need me to call someone? I'm guessing your mom.
Thanks, but we've got it covered.
Okay, I just talked to my mom. She arranged for us to get a rental car.
Great, we can still make it to Comic-Con.
Are you kidding me? After all we've been through, I just want to go home.
Well, what about the mission? You said we were a real-life landing party.
Yeah, well, we're not.
Did we at least rent the car from Enterprise? Get it? Enterprise. Screw you, that's funny.
The Hulk picked up Thor while Thor is holding the hammer.
Yeah.
Then by the transitive property of picking things up, Hulk picked up the hammer.
If I go to a bar and pick up a guy, and he picks up a girl, and then we all leave together, did I pick up the girl?
Did that ever happen?
Hey, we talking about me or we talking about Thor?
Red Hulk is picking up Thor's hammer because Thor's touching it. The strap is part of the hammer.
Are they actually arguing about comic books?
Maybe Thor's hammer is the new color of nail polish.
No, there's only one logical explanation. Somewhere in the desert, we crossed into an alternate dimension. Captain, what are your orders? Wait. They might be hostile.
If we vaporize Penny, I'll never find a girlfriend that pretty again.
President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act from his hospital room.
You learn something new every day.
Hey, can you name the 4 state capitals that are not served by the interstate system?
Ooh, another quiz?
That's what I said before. I mean, people are not going to be in the car buzzing like that, obviously, when it pops up, but it's like learning and driving and passing the time. You know, if you're the type of person that didn't listen to the radio and you just sat there focusing on the sat nav driving down the road, you know what I mean? Like, useful information and popping up here and there. You know, if you was driving and you hit one state or you hit one location and it's like new facts, you know what I mean? New idea. Did you know this? Did you know that? Guess what? You know, I think that actually is a pretty decent thing to integrate into like a sat nav system. So I actually think that was a good idea and I actually liked it. And I think their costumes look pretty good today, to be honest, as well. I know that obviously the car got stolen and by the time they made it to the diner, it was all kind of like sweated off. But prior to that, I think they all look pretty decent. You know, they proper committed to it. I'd like him to actually go to a convention where he was fully dressed up with everybody else. You know, we have seen him dress up a few times before as superheroes. You know, do you remember when he won the costume contest at the comic book store the night before on New Year's Eve? And obviously Sheldon was trying to do his speech and everyone was just celebrating. He didn't get to do it. And we've seen him dress up a couple of times in different things, but like today's was proper committed to the Star Trek, Star Trek theme. And it would be nice actually to see them go to a convention and see how everybody else there is. Maybe as well it'd be a good idea. Do you know, like, we have these guest appearances here and there. We've got the Will Wheaton, we've got Steven Spielberg, we've had a couple of others as well dip in. It'd be good if you actually go to like a comic book convention and lots of their idols are actually there. Do you know what I mean? We could have an episode where there's like 5-6 guest appearances, you know, just everybody in there all fanboiling. Maybe Sheldon gets another restraining order. Do you know what I mean? But I actually enjoyed today's episode. It was a good mix as well. Obviously, the girls was bantering back and forth. He was trying to learn what the guys are into. And obviously, then he was getting into debates themselves. You know, it was a good little mix. And I always find it good. Like, if you've watched it from the start, I always think it's good when Penny starts educating herself and is able to engage in the conversations with the guys. Because obviously, you know, it just shows that she's got an interest and it's just fun to see. And it's just the same situation. You know, it's good to see the girls getting interested in something the guys are into. And even if they don't know the topic fully, you know what I mean? The fact that they're showing a bit of effort and, you know, a bit of interest in it, it's really good. I would like to actually see them have a conversation together, all of them, maybe passing around their ideas and what their favourites is. But it's a start, and it was really, you know, I thought it was really decent. Hey, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know what I've noticed actually this season is the girls and the guys are actually split quite often in pretty much most of the season. You know, it was at first them all coupling up and Raj being on his own, and now I feel like they're all divided. Not in a bad way. Like, I'm not saying that, you know, they're proper segregated, but if you look at most of the scenes, the girls are always together as a three-piece doing some sort of activity, and the boys are always together doing their thing, and we don't really see them cross. Do you know what I mean? Even at the end there, when there was a chance for them to go in and have a conversation back and forth, you know, why can Thor do this? Why can't the Hulk do this? You know, if I pick him up, basically what you're saying, if I pick Thor up and he picks the Hulk picks the Thor up and Thor picks the hammer up, who picked the hammer? You know what I mean? Like, maybe the guys would have had the correct answer to that. They would have known what was going on, but we didn't really see them. We didn't see the engagement going in when they said that, you know, they was going to go in with the stun guns instead of the, you know, the lasers or something. I do like them all spending time together though in the groups. You know, my main kind of wish earlier on in the stages of the show was that like Penny would get some sort of female friends so that she wasn't always segregated and she could actually, you know, have nights out, you know, sleepovers and stuff like that. And it's good to have that female mix into the show. And I thought it was always going to come from a roommate, if I'm being totally honest, but you know, I think it's even better the fact that we've had 2 relationships being built from it, and hers is actually now going strong, which is really good, because I thought that it was going to obviously end earlier on in the season. And you know, in today's episode they're talking about comics, they wanted to get their interest in. I was saying, to be honest, in my experience, I've tried to read them not hundreds of times, but maybe a couple of times in my life. I've picked one up and I've read it, and I've just thought, what actually is the amazing like interestness, and you know, if that makes sense, that everybody gets in these, because all it is like Bernadette was saying, is a lot of images and hardly any words. And on a page you could have like 3 words like wham bam kapow, and it's like, okay, you know, like, it's not really storytelling. Like at the end there when Sheldon was at the door, he was like, finally somebody understanding fine literature, but it's not really literature, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's just literally a few words here and there. And I don't actually feel like when I've read a comic, like it's actually told a full-on progressive story. Now comic book lovers are gonna absolutely hate that, you know what I mean? But again, it was like I was saying earlier on in the episode, the girls were saying that, you know, they're like 30 years old and they're still interested in like little kids stuff, like they don't really understand it. And I was saying that, to be honest, it doesn't matter what you're interested in, as long as it makes you happy, you know, whatever hobby it is, it's fine and you should be happy for it. And you know, I do understand where she was coming from though, when she was saying that when Howard comes to bed in his Batman pajamas, it does feel like she's with a little kid. I kind of do get that, do you know what I mean? That's the stage that you got to grow out of. You don't have to grow out of maybe owning a Star Wars helmet and a lightsaber and obviously going to these comic book conventions, but you definitely have to grow out of going to bed in like Star Wars pajamas and stuff like that, because that is kind of like on the, you know, younger kind of scale of things. But you know, I'd be interested to see another comic book convention kind of episode, but with everybody dressed up together, with the girls dressed up and the guys, and they actually go and they take part in the event. And you know, when they sit on the panels, we've seen them before, not in a comic book thing, but they've been to panel shows before, and they've been good episodes when they're shouting out in the audience. And obviously Sheldon's there in other episodes as well, shouting questions to people, and he kind of like trips them up. They're the interesting ones, and they do excite me, so maybe we get something like that as well. Thanks for checking out today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.